What's up, guys? So for those of you new to Hearts of Iron 4, I wanted to give you a quick tutorial on unit design. So the first thing you want to keep in mind when you design your divisions is width. Generally, you want to design your divisions around a width of 10 or 20. The reason is because the normal combat width is 80. This means that in most cases you can attack into a province with 4 units if each has a width of 20. If you go over that, your units are put into reserve. So observing this combat width is a very important thing to keep in mind. Now keep in mind, each additional province you attack from adds another 40 to your combat width. So if you attack from 2 provinces into 1, your combat width increases to 120, letting more units participate in a battle. The final thing to keep in mind here is the Field Marshal trait, Offensive Commander. If a commander has this, it adds another 10% to your combat width on all units under him. What this means is if you are using units under a commander of this type, you should design your divisions around a width of 11 or 22 rather than 10 or 20. So this is a final thing to keep in mind. The next thing you want to think of when you design your divisions is resources. Will I be able to equip this unit I'm creating in the division designer? This is very important if you're playing a minor nation to ask this question. It's important also to ask this if you're playing a major nation and you have a lot of different things you need to spend industry on, like planes for instance. So you want to make sure that you're designing a unit that you're able to equip. So having gone over those, here are some example divisions that you might use. This is an example of a standard infantry unit backed up by support artillery and engineers. This is a very cheap and affordable unit to make, and it's great for miners to flesh out their army with. It's also great if you're playing Germany and you want to mass up your army before you do the invasion of Russia. So this is a great unit that you'd want to make breakthroughs with. The artillery brings a lot of damage with it, and it will do quite a good job against anything that is a soft target. Since most of your enemy's army will be composed of infantry, having a high soft attack value is critical. You will use this unit to push through your enemy's front lines. This is also a great unit to combine with the superior firepower doctrine, which will make it even more powerful. So this is a starting armor unit you would use for a country like Germany. It's critical that you put motorized in with the armor because the armor by itself doesn't have enough organization as a unit. This unit is very fast and it's great at making breakthroughs with. Generally what you want to do is control an army of this unit type manually and use them for example to make encirclements in places like France and Poland, and then bring your infantry in behind them after to defend the provinces after you take them. The speed of this unit is what makes it so powerful. Because it's so fast, it can cut your enemy's supply lines and it can overrun units and take them out. Remember that support battalions don't count against speed, so having support artillery here will not slow the unit down. It's also good to attach the recon unit if you have the resources to spare, as that will make this unit even faster. As you progress through the game, what you want to do is probably keep editing this division template with the new equipment you're creating. So over time, you probably want to phase out your light tanks and replace them with mediums, and also replace your motorized units with mechanized. This unit template is also a great one to combine with the mobile warfare doctrine, and it's going to make this an even more powerful unit than it already is. This is an example of an anti-tank unit. You want to create something like this to counter the enemy's armor. Generally, you won't see many units in your opponent's army that you need hard attack for. So in this case, you want to keep like a group of these anti-tank units and just use them manually if your enemy tries to use armor against you. This is an example of a cavalry unit, and the purpose of this is to suppress partisans. You want to use cavalry against partisans if at all possible because they're the most efficient unit to use. They get twice the partisan suppression that regular units do, and you also want to combine it with the military police support brigade as that improves your suppression. I have a couple of final tips for you guys. One is to use the duplicate function when you design a new unit. Duplicating creates a copy of the template for free, so you don't spend your army tradition. So you want to use this when you design a new unit to get your baseline that you're editing from. And then a final thing is make sure when you're researching units and brigades for your divisions, make sure you don't miss these texts when you do armor and planes. This, for example, is how you unlock tank destroyers and self-propelled artillery, and these are very useful to add to units as battalions. Just keep in mind your land doctrines may not give modifiers to these alternate types. They may only give modifiers to armor, for example, and not self-propelled artillery. So thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you again.